What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our round one battle for the APA Academy. Today we are facing off against the Miami Mence, and if that sounds familiar, it's because we played them 2 weeks ago for the Week 12 finale of the regular season. We had to beat them to get in the playoffs, and unfortunately, we are playing against them. It really sucks because they actually tied, I think, record-wise and differential-wise with one other person, and I don't know why it would do. Like, honestly, I think it was a coin toss or something that allowed it so that they would end up playing us, which really sucks because the other person, we did have a chance to play them during the season. They actually beat us. It was the team with the Mimikyu on it, and they ended up beating us that week. But it was a week that I thought we definitely could have won. Now, I don't mind playing him again. If this was any week except for week 11 or 12, I would have been like, cool, let's do it. But because it's week 12, I literally have to play him to get into the playoffs. It makes it so much of a harder matchup for me. And because of that, it was just tough all around. Now, there was no upload last week. There hasn't been an upload in a while. That's because the generation is dying down. All the leagues we have are over except for the APA. And it's just going to be, kind of tough. We have this week, and then we have to do a bunch of catch up because Sword and Shield are coming out in, at the time this goes up, like 13 days. So, no, 12 days. Jeez, it comes out in like less than 2 weeks. So, yeah. Anyways, this matchup is a bit difficult. He does have a very interesting team against the team that has quite a few strengths against us as well. We did end up pulling out the win last time behind our Scarf Coco, and it still does have a really good matchup against him. And the team that we are bringing is very similar to the previous one. It actually is the exact same team minus 2 changes, and I think those changes were, I changed one move on my my Latios, and then I think I changed one move on my Ho-Oh, and that's it. So I'll just go ahead and get into the team that we're bringing for this battle. So to start off, actually, no, I'll go over the matchups first. So my team is Ho-Oh, Tapu Koko with Z moves, Aegislash, Mega Latios, Dugtrio with Z moves, Amoonguss, Miltank, Seismitoad with Z moves, Hawlucha, Bisharp, and Illumise. Ho-Oh was the kill leader, woohoo. Then there's the Miami Mence. Their team is Deoxys Attack, which doesn't have a greatest matchup, but it's still super hard for me to switch in on. He has Naganadel, Jirachi, Mandibuzz, Linoon, Infernape with Z moves, Piloswine, Primarina, Frostlass with Z moves, Tyrantrum with Z moves, Mega Manectric, and Vileplume. As there's sirens and fire trucks and ambulances. Jeez, that came out of nowhere. Anyways, I'm going to try and talk over. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. But anyways, his team is very scary against me, but the biggest threat out of everything would have to be the Linoon, followed by the Naganadel, followed by the Deoxys Attack, and then the Tyrantrum on a separate note because it's a really good check to the Ho. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the team we're bringing. So to start off, we have our Aegislash here. Aegislash is very important in this matchup. We're running Shadow Sneak, Toxic, King's Shield, and Substitute. It's really solid. It's the exact same spread I had last time. Aegislash is not 2-hit by Deoxys Attack's knockoff after Rocks. We're not 2-hit by Piloswine's no attack Earthquake after a Protect and Leftovers recovery. And we're not 2-hit by Mega Manectric's Flamethrower. We're also not 2-hit by Naganadel's Fire Blast after our Leftovers, after a King Shield, and then another round of Leftovers. And then I just put the rest into our attack. Obviously, he brought the Linoon this time, so not having Sacred Sword is going to be tough, but I still think it's a very solid set to bring against him because I don't expect him to have the Substitute, and if he does, then he's using Sub, that's 25%, he's using Belly Drum, that's 50%, so it's going to get rid of his Berry, so basically I can just really whittle him down with the Substitute and the Belly Drum damage and everything. You guys understand what I'm saying. He's just not going to have enough HP to get everything taken care of. Next up, though, is our Tapu Koko, which is Choice Scarf this week, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, U-Turn, and Defog. It's just standard set, really solid against this team. We then have our Hawlucha here with the Electric Seed, Acrobatics, High Jump Kick, Roost, and Bulk Up. This carried us to the sweep in the last time we played him, but Koko was the one that put in the majority of the work. This is really solid against him. The reason I'm Bulk Up is because I want to be able to get the +1 defense, or in this case, if I get Terrain Up, it'll be +2 defense, because it'll allow me to really take hits a lot better, potential extreme speeds from the Deoxys Attack, etc., and a few other things. Moving on, though, we have our Choice Scarf Dugtrio. It caught him off guard last time, and it should again this time. I'm anticipating him to be Shed Shell on the Naganadel, maybe a Shed Shell on the Tyrantrum, but I don't think he would need it since, honestly, the Tyrantrum just can set up kind of all over the Dugtrio, so I need to make sure that thing is chipped down enough. But yeah, moving on, though, our next mon is going to be our Ho. I took off Will-O-Wisp from this set and put on Toxic. So we have Toxic, Roost, Earth Power, and Sacred Fire. Basically, my play is just Sacred Fire whenever like the Tyrantrum is still alive. If I do that and I get the burn, fantastic. If I don't, well, that kind of sucks. Because honestly, Tyrantrum is such a huge threat to my team. Having no real good answers to rock types is tough, and I just Sidesword wasn't a good bring for this matchup at all. And the last one we're bringing is the Mega Latios here. We have Dragon Pulse, Energy Ball, Calm Mind, and Roost. I decided to go against Psyshock in exchange for Energy Ball. I think the reason why I had Psyshock originally was to hit the Primarina for more damage, because it would hit it for more damage, being stab and hitting on the physical side rather than the special side. And the Vileplume, I guess, that makes sense. And the Infernape. But yeah, like honestly, you look at the team that he brought, Energy Ball was a better play. I'm happy I have it instead, because the Piloswine was definitely coming. It's a really reliable rocker for him, because I just can't OHKO it. And yeah, so that's our team. Let's just go ahead and jump into the battle. As you can see, he brought the Tyrantrum, the Piloswine, the Mandibuzz, the Naganadel, the Linoon, and the Deoxys attack. So a pretty different team than the last time. He brought 4 of the same mounts. Instead of the Mega Manectric and the Infernape, he brought the Linoon and the Deoxys attack. And let's just go ahead and start. And just like last time, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my Latios. So Latios is going to be the lead here. Depending on what he leads, I'm going to be clicking probably just an attack or setting up. If he leads with the Piloswine, I'm not worried about that thing having Ice Shard. I don't think it will, because he didn't have it last time, so hopefully he doesn't have it again. But he leads off with the Tyrantrum, and this is good for me because I should outspeed this thing unless he is Scarfed, and if he's Scarfed, that's a huge like weight off my shoulders, because it's not that big of a threat if it's Scarfed. So I go for the Dragon Pulse here as I Mega Evolve, and he goes hard into the Mandibuzz, which is a fair play. It'll take about 40% from this depending on his investment, and if he is specially defensive, then I am going to have to get the +1. But the good news is, I'm kind of anticipating to go for a Toxic here, or a Roost. He shouldn't be going for an attack like a U-turn or a Foul Play or a Knockoff even, just because honestly there's no real value to that. He needs to make sure this thing is healthy, because it's a really good check to my Dugtrio, obviously, and everything else kind of doesn't appreciate that, especially if I get rocks up. But anyways, I am going to go for, do I even have rocks this week? I do have rocks. Dugtrio has rocks, yeah. Anyways, I go for the Calm Mind here as I predict him to go for a Toxic or a Roost, and he does go for the Roost here, which is really good for me because I can go for Dragon Pulse now, which should 2 KO him, and there shouldn't be anything that he can do that can OHKO us, which is amazing. I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse here, and based on the damage here, it's honestly going to do just over half, which is fantastic, but with leftovers, it's going to make it basically a roll, which kind of sucks. But he goes for the Foul Play, and Foul Play is going to do a huge chunk of damage to me. I was like, why is this going down so fast? What the hell? There's no way it should be doing this much damage. Did he crit me? And no, he didn't crit me. It just did that much damage. I'm going to go for another Dragon Pulse here, as we are going to be able to do a lot of damage to the Mandibuzz, but I'm really hoping we can take it out. Can we actually, though? Yes, we can, so thank God. That was a roll. It was not a guaranteed KO, but thankfully we did end up getting it, which is huge, because we have our Latios alive for another turn at least. But in comes the Deoxys. I don't know what this thing wants to do, but I know it's not going to go for a rock move. He's probably going to predict my Aegislash to come in, so I'm going to switch out and go into my Ho here. Now Ho obviously is holding a Chardy Berry this week, and depending on what he does here, I could live a hit, but because he gets a special defense drop there on the Shadow Ball, I can't take a Psycho Boost, so I'm switching out and I'm going back into my Latios to take the hit, or not take the hit, but just sack it off. If he had not gotten the drop, I would have definitely just stayed in, so I'm going to switch out now and I'm going to go into my Latios. But good news for me, because he actually decides to switch out into the Tyrantrum, which is a fantastic opportunity for me, because at this point I can get off a free Dragon Pulse against anything, and potentially a second hit off against anything as well, because honestly, Dragon Pulse is going to KO pretty much everything except for the things that I outspeed, and I can just Energy Ball that if it's the Piloswine, like it is ending up being in this situation. Anyway, so Dragon Pulse comes out, and we do about like 30% to this thing. It's not too much. We do like 35%. It's not bad. And I'm going to go for the Energy Ball here. Again, I don't anticipate him to go for the Ice Shard because he didn't have it last time and he needs to get up rocks. So right there, we do get off the Energy Ball on him. No KO, which kind of sucks. I wish I predicted the swap into this thing, because it would have been fantastic to not have rocks up, because at this point, I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to defog with my Coco. So I go for the Dragon Pulse here, just in case you want to switch out. There's no reason for me not to go for Dragon Pulse in this situation, and down goes the Piloswine. So at this point, I believe we are up 5-4, 6-4, 5-4, 6-4. We're up 6-4. But anyways, in comes the what is this called? The Deoxys, and at this point, we are going to be 5-4. I have no switch into this thing, especially because rocks are up. I'm so sorry about that. There is someone taking a shower in the building, or the apartment next to me, and because of that, I hear whenever they take the shower, and that really sucks. Sorry about that. Hopefully my sound of my voice drowns it out for you guys. But anyways, like I said, we can't really switch in to this thing again because there's rocks up on our side of the field. Had there not been rocks, we wouldn't find, but it's a great opportunity for me to go to my Doug trio. He is trapped, he needs to be shed shell, which I don't think he would be, and if he is, that's fine by me. Earthquake does tons of damage to everything, and he stays in, which means we get the KO, which is amazing because getting rid of this Deoxys is a huge problem for us, but unfortunately for us, he ends up being sashed, and that's just a great bring because it helps him against the Aegislash and it helps him against the Doug trio. So fantastic bring. I wish I got up rocks before this, but it just wasn't possible this game. Anyways, at this point, I have to go into my Coco here because it's the only thing that's going to outspeed. Nothing else on my team would take a hit, so I have to go into the Coco here. We are going to get access to the Electric Surge. I'm just going to fire off a U-turn here. There's really no reason for me not to. His ground type is gone, but the Naganadel is still around, and if I let the thing set up, then I'm going to be in a shitty situation. So I just go for the U-turn here, and at this point now, I'm debating what is my best option. Do I go into H-Slash, do I go Ho, or do I go into my my Hawlucha? And honestly, my best play was to go into my Aegislash here, and the reason for that, in my opinion at least, was because I can deal with pretty much everything unless the Linoon has Substitute, and he goes for that first, okay? If he goes for Belly Drum first, great, but he has to play 50-50 here, and this is what Aegislash does best, because he does go into Linoon. This is the 50-50. If I have Sacred Sword, and he goes for Belly Drum, then I'll win, okay? But if I go for, let me think, what's the word? If I have Toxic, and he goes for Belly Drum or Substitute rather. If I go for Toxic and he goes for Substitute, then he'll win. I have to just make sure that I win this 50-50. I obviously have Toxic. That's my only play I can do here. So the only thing I can do is touch the Linoon. If I get the Toxic off on it, then I should be able to win this game. Honestly, it's 4-3, but I feel like we have a max HP Coco, Hawlucha, and a Ho that's going to take 50% from rocks coming in, and a max HP Aegislash here. We should be fine against the rest of his team. So I'm going to go for the Toxic here as he goes to the Belly Drum, which is fantastic. And at this point, he is going to go down to 50%. He's going to proc his berry to bring himself back up to full, and we're going to be able to get the Toxic off on him, which is fantastic because we have a Toxic stalling Aegislash, and at the same time, depending on the rolls with King Shield that we get, we can, or the hits we do with King Shield, I guess is how I want to put it, we could actually win the game. But unfortunately, as you guys saw, we missed the Toxic. The amount of bad luck that I've had this season, specifically in the APA, has been astounding, okay? And this is going to take a lot of finagling, and because of this, I'm going to just speed up ×2, okay? So I'm sorry, but this is just what it's going to have to be. So I speed up ×2 because there's a lot to go on here. I Toxic again as he went for the sub. I'm going to King Shield now, expect him to go for the Stomping Tantrum as he does, and that does lower his attack, which is fantastic because I honestly assumed that Stomping Tantrum wouldn't lower the attack. I thought it was I thought the Child Claw would do it. I didn't know Stomping Tantrum was a contact move, but I go into my Hawlucha here because at this point I get my +1 defense. He's now at +4 instead of +6. He fails the Stomping Tantrum and misses because it's a ground move. He goes to Extreme Speed, and because of my +1 defense and his +4 in attack, we can get the KO on the Substitute here, which is huge. Now at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to switch out and wear another Extreme Speed on this Linoon, and that already is going to be 2 Extreme Speeds gone on the Linoon, which is huge because if I can get rid of all of them, then he'll have nothing to touch my Ho eventually, which would be massive. But he goes for the Substitute here as I go into my instead of my own Substitute with my Aegislash. I'm going to go for the King Shield now, hoping that he goes for another attack, and this is again where the mind games come in, 50-50s. He goes for a sub there, great play on his part. I'm going to go for another sub here because Stomping Tantrum is a great play on his part, and obviously it is going to destroy our Substitute as I can just set up another one here, and that's, I believe, 3 Stomping Tantrums down for him, so I'm just counting, keeping track. He has 3 Stomping Tantrums gone, and he has 2 subs gone. What can we do against him? There are 16 Stomping Tantrums, I believe, or 18 Stomping Tantrums, I think it is, actually. It's 16. Yeah, it's 16 because Stomping Tantrum is 10 PP. So he goes for another sub here. Just it fails. It's a good way to get rid of PP for himself and not use an attack. I lose my, I fail the King Shield, which sucks. It's 50%, not 50% chance. It's 30% chance or 33% chance to connect the second King Shield in a row, which would be huge because I can get that thing to -2, which is, or not -2, but +2, which is huge. And eventually, once I lower that thing more and more and more, eventually Coco will be able to take an Extreme Speed, which again, massive. But anyways, he's going to break our sub here as we are now going to be able to just continue this stall fest a little bit longer. I go for King's Shield, of course. He's going to be able to go for a Stomping Tantrum, which is great because at this point he's at +2, which means I can live a hit here, which is, again, massive. But I'm going to switch out into my Hawlucha because Hawlucha will obviously survive because it's a ground type move. And I'm going to force him to go for another Extreme Speed here as I'm going to switch back out into my Aegislash. As what does he do? He goes for Extreme Speed, so that's now 4 Extreme Speeds gone. That's huge. Again, if I can make sure that he has no more Extreme Speeds left against my Ho, I can win the game. I go for a sub here as he went for a sub for himself. He was predicting the King Shield basically, and I go for Toxic just to wear down his PP because again I don't need to do anything right here. I can just sit and wait. He goes for a sub as I go for another Toxic. I'm predicting to not go for an attack, and here I predict him to go for an attack, and I go for the King Shield. And hopefully he does go for the attack because if he does, he'll be at neutral, which is going to be massive. But no, he goes for the substitute and save some PP again. So I'm going to go for a second King Shield, and we fail again. That's 2 out of 2 now. We failed. Hopefully we can do it. Hopefully we can connect the next time we do it because we are going to try this again. At this point in time, it's a free chance for me to go for King Shield, so I'm going to go for the sub here because he's going to expect me to go for King Shield. And this is what I'm talking about. Mind games. This is exactly why Aegislash was banned from OU in Sun and Moon. Anyways, he's going to go for the Stomping Tantrum here, make our sub go away, which sucks because at this point we are now no longer protected by the substitute, and I'm going to go for the King Shield, praying he goes for the attack as he just goes for a substitute, and this really sucks because at this point I have to go for a double here. I go for the double. Do I get it? I do not. Stomping Tantrum comes out. It's okay. It'll only do 50% to me, but no, it obliterates us. Why is that? Why did it obliterate us? What happened? How did he KO us? Because Stomping Tantrum has a special ability that I honestly forgot about until right as it happened. If a move fails before Stomping Tantrum is used, it will double in power. So that was a guaranteed KO at +2 because King Shield failed. We had 3 chances to get it. We just needed 1. We just needed 1 time to double King Shield, and we would have been fine. We got none, and it honestly lost us a chance at bringing it back. I thought we played really well with the 50-50s, and we won the majority of them, which is really solid, but we just didn't get lucky in those situations. That sucks, but at this point, he is at +2. We have our Hawlucha, which is basically going to die, so I'm just going to go into Hawlucha here. And honestly, guys, there's nothing I can do. He's behind a sub. If he wasn't behind a sub, I would say there's still a shot. I still have a chance, but he's got 4 Extreme Speeds left. I gotta go with my Ho here. I'm hoping I can live a hit. Honestly, it's a roll, I think it is, at +2 for him. I think it is, at least. I could be wrong. But anyways, Extreme Speed comes out, and you're going to see it is going to be able to get the KO on us. Nothing we can do there, and we're going to be losing this game 3-0. Actually, crits us. It might have mattered. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter at all. So, because if I broken his sub, he would have killed me the next time. I go into this thing, he Extreme Speeds me, and I believe he would get the KO on this no matter what, because again, +2 Extreme Speed against Coco, it's not exactly the most bulky thing in the world. But this is where our APA run comes to an end. Really sucks. We lose to a Linoon. Honestly, we were talking after the game. It was very likely that I had it. Had I connected the Toxic, he would have only had left his what is it called? His I'm trying to think of it. The Naganadel and the Tyrantrum, and I had my Coco in the back for the Tyrantrum. I had my Hawlucha in the back to make sure that I would always be able to beat the Naganadel 1v1 because I outspeed in a +1 when I'm at +2. So we would have been fine there, but it just is what it is. Yeah, our season ends. We lose in round 1 again. It wasn't even quarterfinals. This is like the round before. This is like the round of 16 basically. Not even that. It's just it was like a qualifier. So I think the top 12 made it, and the bottom 8 seeds had to have one game to see who was going to make it to the actual playoffs. But yeah, I wish we could have won this game. I really do. I wish we could have continued our streak and continue playing with Ho and Megaladi. It was such a fun team to use. Shout out to Panther who drafted it. But yeah, this is where our season comes to an end. Now, this is the final battle I have for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And I don't know when the next league will start. Usually it would have already started, and I would have already had videos up for you guys. But because we're ending a generation and starting up a new one, content is slowing down on the channel. I have 2 videos recorded. I just edited them, and they're going to be coming out before Sword and Shield gets released. I have 1 more video that I would like to upload, but it's only if you guys can reach a specific like goal. If this video can reach 35 likes, then I will upload a highlights/lowlights of all the hacks that we did and that our opponents did to us in this season of the AP Academy. All right, and it's gonna be a pretty long video. It's gonna take a while for me to go back and forth and figure out exactly where each piece of hacks happened. But I'm gonna go through my videos and see what it is. But again, you guys need to reach 35 likes for us to do that. I will give you guys. It's Sunday the time recording this. I'll give you guys until Wednesday. That's Wednesday the 7th, 6th, something like that. Yeah, this upcoming Wednesday. And if you guys can do that, awesome. If you guys can't, well, I'm just not gonna do it, and we'll have to try again next generation. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this generation of Pokemon, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And thank you for subscribing to the channel and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. We have the top 10 Ubers in Draft League for this generation coming up soon. And we also have a discussion on Z-moves with a couple of really awesome people coming up as well in the next 2 weeks. So make sure to stick around for that. If you guys like that content, if you guys want more Draft League content, if you guys like this kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all next time.